it's Tina and I'm back. And I'm actually back, okay? It has been a while since I have filmed. Oh my god. So if you're also back, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you didn't miss me too much, but if you're new and maybe you like what you see, please consider subscribing. We have tons of fun here on this channel talking about makeup and all things beauty. And today I am doing a get ready with me video, just checking in with you guys and sharing what went down on our creators and friends trip to Charleston, South Carolina. I just got back a week ago and I've been dealing with some things, okay? I've been dealing with some things, and I'll probably do another get ready with me video where I talk to you about what's been going on, but it's been a week, okay? And I'm finally sitting down to film and play with some new products that were sent in PR, some new products that I picked up on the trip, and also some new products that I just had picked up recently, right? So I'm gonna talk to you guys all about this trip. It was a good time. It was so much fun. So this is the creators and friends trip created by Samantha March and Simbri from Simbri Thinks on Instagram. They organized this trip. It was their brainchild, and it is the first of its kind that we've really heard about, where it's creators coming together to meet up and just have a bonding trip. And that's exactly what happened. It was for networking and getting to know each other because we have not met in person before, or if we have, we haven't really spent that much time together, right? It was a group of 20 content creators in a house in Charleston, South Carolina for 4 days. So we went from Monday to Thursday. We had a blast. We had makeup events planned. We had dinners. We had girl time. It was just a good time, and we did end up having some sponsors for the actual trip, which worked out really well, and I'll fill you in as we go through. But look at my cup! Oh my god. So when we got in, the rooms were decorated. We got some merch, like personalized items, like this Stanley cup in pink. This was from BK Beauty. Oh my god, it says kindness is the ultimate beauty hack, BK Beauty, and my name is on it. When I saw this, I was like, oh my god. We also got like a throw blanket. We have a sweatshirt. That was so fun. Plus we got goodies, like PR goodies. But I'm gonna go ahead and get ready again, playing with some new products that I picked up recently and that were sent to me in PR, and then include snippets of the trip because I didn't really vlog. I thought I would vlog, but I didn't end up vlogging. And if you want to see my previous video where I shared all my outfits, I will link it over here. You can check it out. That is where I share like what I planned and packed with me, because we had an itinerary with outfit suggestions. So we were clear on what we should pack, right? So if you want to just chat with me and hear about the trip and see some snippets here or there and see how I created this fun look, then stay tuned and I will talk to you soon. Alright guys, so as usual, we're starting off with a clean, freshly washed face. I just got out the shower. Listen, okay? When in doubt, go ahead and take a shower, and that's what I did. I am not feeling the best right now, as I mentioned, so my voice, you know, I think I'm coming down with a cold, plus I lost my voice on the Charleston trip, so it's a whole situation. Let's go in with moisturizer. This is from Make Beauty. It is their Succulent Skin Gel Cream, which is a great gel moisturizer for oily combination skin. You still want to add some moisture to your skin, especially after washing it like I do. And I wash with a foaming cleanser, so I can get a little bit of dryness, but not really. My skin doesn't feel like, you know? But I like to add a light gel cream, so that's what I'm doing. So how are you guys doing? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm not doing great. I am not doing great. I'm just like, what's going on? Like I can't catch a break is where I'm at right now. So let's go in with some primer. I'm gonna do my brows. I was gonna say that I'm not gonna mention the products as I go through, but out of habit, I just always end up mentioning them anyway. I may not give like full details, but I'll mention what I'm doing. So I'm priming my brows, which I think is a great tip for any and everyone. Add primer, eyeshadow primer to your brows, just a clear one. It's gonna help your eyebrows stay in place all day, just like it does with eyeshadow. And if you have oily lids, like an eyeshadow primer is key. I'm trying to convince my niece to use an eyeshadow primer. Poor thing. She's wearing makeup now, like she's doing different things. She can do a fierce eyeliner, like a winged liner, but her eyeshadow game, oh my God, she needs help. And I'm looking at her like, your whole aunt is a content creator, beauty influencer, but you somehow have not asked for any tips or tricks. But you know how teenagers are. Anyway, that's not the point. Eyeshadow primer for the win. So yeah, I'm not doing well. So I just got back. Well, it's actually been about a week since I have been back from Charleston, South Carolina. So if you follow me on Instagram or you follow a bunch of creators on Instagram, you may be aware of a influencer trip that we had to Charleston, South Carolina. If you're on my Instagram and you were watching my stories, even my posts, you will see that I was on this trip. And it's been called like the Charleston trip, right? But it's a creators and friends trip that was the brainchild of Samantha March and Simbri. Simbri is Simbri Thinks on Instagram. Love Simbri, but she mainly is focused on Instagram content, while Samantha is both on YouTube and Instagram, and I think she's on TikTok. She's all over the place, okay? Girl's a hard worker. But it was the brainchild of these two phenomenal organizers. They decided that... Oh, I ring the bell. Hold on, at the ring. So I got a delivery. I got my Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Custom Finish Powder Foundation. This was the recommendation from one of you guys in the comments under, I think it was my Makeup Forever Powder Foundation review. One of you mentioned that the Shiseido Synchro Skin Powder Foundation was excellent. And on the trip, so this ties into the trip, on the trip, Kelsey Brianna J, my bae, was there, and this was her foundation powder of choice. You would see her pull this little compact out and she'd be touching up, and I was like, girl, the powder is smooth, it's given everything that needs to be given. Do I need it, right? And she's like, yeah, you need to get it. So I got two shades. Her shade is, what did she say her shade is? I forget, but I think she's 350, right? But I'm darker than her. Yeah, I'm actually darker. I have a richer skin tone than she does. So I picked up two shades. I picked up 340 Oak, right? And 360 Citrine. And these are the neutral undertone ones. And with a powder foundation, I tend to go a little bit lighter, just in case it deepens up, right? Which I set liquid foundation with powder foundation, so it's going to deepen up because it's going to touch moisture. That's not the point. Kelsey recommended the foundation, so I picked it up. Yeah. So this Charleston trip originally started out as strictly like a girls trip, right? But it would be with a bunch of content creators, influencers that know each other directly or have 1 degree of separation. That's how tight the group was, right? So there were friends of somebody in the group. So Samantha invited a few of her friends, Simbri invited a few of her friends, and then they got feedback from those creators on other people that, you know, would make a good fit for the group and would like to attend the trip, right? And there was a survey done. I wasn't involved in this part, but there was a survey done up front. This started back in August last year, right? That's how long it's been in the works. I think I got involved like in September or October or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But the point is they did a survey of places that, you know, are options for them to go to, different states, and people voted on it. And the winner was Charleston, South Carolina, because of proximity to people, access, and all that good stuff, right? So that was the place that was chosen. And then Simbri and Samantha, the planners, the extraordinaire, they went through like planning the different dinners and events and things we could do while we were there. So again, girls trip. It was meant to be like a networking trip, a bonding trip with creators, again, that already knew each other or knew of each other, coming together to actually meet in person instead of waiting for a brand sponsored trip or waiting for like IMATS or the makeup show or some brand created event to meet up, right? We were all going to just meet up together to hang out because we haven't had that chance in years, right? Especially with COVID, like the restrictions. So a lot of those meetups were not happening. And we have seen like meet and greets done with multiple creators, but nothing like this was ever done where it's really a girls trip or meet and greet with influencers, not with like subscribers or viewers, but like influencers meeting each other. Because keep in mind that most of us, if not all of us, are also viewers, right? We're also subscribers. We follow these people. We like their posts on Instagram. Like we have that parasocial relationship with them as well. So meeting in person is like the icing on top of the cake, right? So when they reached out to me, Lauren May Beauty was the one who invited me. I was down. I was like, yes, sign me up. Because I've never really truly been on a girls trip. If you don't know, I moved to the United States when I was 19. Well, I was turning 19. I was really 18, but I was turning 19. So that's when I moved here. And my best friends, all my friends that I grew up with are still in Jamaica or were still in Jamaica. So I didn't get the chance to have that girl experience, you know? And then the friends that I met in college, my university was smack dab in the middle of New York City. So it was a very diverse crowd, okay? A lot of the students there were international students. So my friends ended up going back home. Like my best friend that I met in college, she's back home in Barbados. And then I have another friend that, you know, got married, had kids. There's a whole situation with that one. We kind of grew apart, you know, as you do. But yeah, I never really had the girl trip experience. I never have, and I've always wanted that, right? So when this trip popped up, I was like, yes, I'm going. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we were going to pay for everything. We put the deposit down for the house. So they found a vacation house in Charleston, North Carolina that would house about 20 girls, which is what it ended up being. 20 of us that ended up on the trip. So it would be large enough for all of us. It would accommodate like in-house events and stuff. And we could just hang out, chill, and have a good time. So I was definitely on board. I'm like, yep, sign me up. So we paid the initial deposit, right, for the house. And then, of course, you had to pay for your food, all that stuff, and your transportation to South Carolina. So that was all in the works. And then Simbri and Sam reached out to a few brands to see if they would be interested in providing different products for goodie bags. So like PR products, right? So they reached out, told them about the plan, like this is the trip, do you want to get involved? And a few brands said, yeah, we definitely want to be involved. We'll send you products to create these goodie bags. It's gonna be great, have a good time. We'll even sponsor like an event or two, you know? And then BK Beauty came in the clutch and said, girl, we love you guys. We love this idea. We're going to pay for the vacation house and pay for like dinners and so forth, as well as send like goodies for the PR bags, right? So of course, you know, that was a great weight off our shoulders. We got refunded the initial deposit. Like everything worked out beautifully when BK decided to get involved. But there were no obligations, right? That was upfront. We're not obligated to post anything, to make any content related to the trip or to the specific brands that were providing like the goodie bags. And I love that because on a lot of brand trips, from what I've heard, I have not personally been a part of brand trips, but the expectation is that you will create content for the brand and for whatever product they're promoting. Like if you go with Tarte to the, who did that? No, Benefit went to the desert, right? and had the mascara unveiling, so people had to post content. But things like that, like tripping with Tarte, you post about the trip, you post about the products that they're launching, all that good stuff, right? There was no contractual obligation from any of the brands for them to be involved in the trip and like providing the products, right? And that was crucial because, again, this was a creator trip. It was people that knew each other or were 1 degree removed. I just put concealer on my eyelids. That's the NARS Complete Matte. What is it? Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Why don't I remember that ever? So I want to do something fun and colorful. I'm feeling like in my zone right now. I want to do something, you know, kind of adventurous and colorful because I have a few palettes from the trip, and then I have a couple that was sent in PR from Oden's Eye. So Oden's Eye just launched. I think today is the launch day of their newest collection. This is the George's collection. Where is my phone? Oh, teeth, my phone dirty. Yeah, it's the Jorn's Divine collection. There are 2 eyeshadow palettes included. So we have the Jewels and Gems palette. Ooh, so pretty. And this one has like mauve tones, some pops of blues. Like, these are very muted tones. They're desaturated, a la Hannah Louise Poston and Khaki Reviews Beauty. So they're kind of grungy, colorful shades. We have like a desaturated blue, a teal, you know, some colors, but there's some purpley, mauve vibes and some bronzes. And then we also have the Stone and Rock palette, also very pretty. They're so pretty. And this one is a green and like dusty mustard shades with some shimmery greens included. This is really gorgeous. I am so excited about these 2 palettes, guys. And then on the trip, I was introduced to Unearthly Cosmetics. So Unearthly was one of the sponsors. We got some highlighters and this palette. Oh my god. So this is the Don't Be Jelly eyeshadow and pressed pigment palette. So beautiful shades. We have some purple, some blues, some duochromes, even some greens. So I have a lot of options and I just want to go for it. I just want to have fun with makeup. So that's what we're going to do. So what was I saying? I completely forgot. All right. So we got refunded the money. There was no obligations for posting. You just post as you see fit. There was no requirement for vlogging or anything. Again, this was a bonding trip rather than an actual influencer trip. Now, the trip itself has been tagged as creators and friends, which is exactly what it is, right? It's creators, which is us, the influencers and the content creators, and friends like BK Beauty, Unearthly Cosmetics, Colourpop was also involved. We had a brand that I don't speak about, and then we had Undefined Beauty. So there were a few brands that were involved, and like I said, BK Beauty was the biggest sponsor, and I was happy about that because BK Beauty is a brand that I stand behind. I love their brushes. Like, I was so excited when they said BK Beauty was going to be involved because I was like, yes, this is a brand that I F's with. You know what I'm saying? It's, you're more comfortable when it's something that you can stand behind. I know I might look a little crazy, but you're just gonna have to deal right now. And if I take scissors close to my eye, will you guys freak out? Because that's what I am gonna do. Yeah, so it was a brand that I could stand behind, so I was really excited about that. So BK sponsored the majority of the trip, right? And like I said, we had the vacation house, and there were 20 women, and we were sharing rooms, okay? We had roommates. There were some rooms, I think there were like 2 or 3 rooms that were like singles, but for the most part, you were either sharing a bed or you were in a room with like single beds. So I ended up rooming with Lauren May Beauty. Some of the people that I was excited to meet that were on the list were Kelsey, Brianna, J. First of all, I feel like I've known Kelsey for so many years, but we've never actually met in person. And it's so weird to go all these years knowing someone or knowing of someone, but never actually meeting. So I was happy to finally be meeting her. I wonder if I should do something purple or something green. I feel like I want to do purple. Let's do purple. I've done green recently, so let's do purple. So I'm gonna go in and mix this matte shade with this one to create like a little blending crease shade, like a mauve situation. So Kelsey was top of my list. In fact, Kelsey texted me. She was like, are you going on this trip? Because the emails that were going back and forth, I mean, really detailed, well informed. I was always abreast of the most current information. Simbri and Samantha did such a great job like organizing this and keeping the communication going. Like, we were updated around the clock. Well, not around the clock, but we were updated when there was anything that needed updating, right? Oh, there's another color. Oh, I could have used that. Okay, we'll go back with that. So Kelsey texted me. She was like, are you going on this trip? I saw your name. Are you going? I'm like, yes, I'm going. So we were like, boom, at least we'll know each other and we're comfortable with each other. So we're happy to have that happening. Let's go in with this deeper shade, which is probably the shade I should have started with. But anyway, so Kelsey was going, but I was also excited to meet Lauren, right? Because I've been trying to meet Lauren for the longest. Every time I go to California, if I'm in the LA area, I'm like, Lauren, are you free? And like, we never ended up meeting in person. I was invited to her birthday party. Something came up that I had to cancel that trip. Like, it was a whole situation, right? So I was excited to finally meet Lauren. Lauren is another one that I feel like I absolutely love. So those two I was the most excited about because I feel like we have the most in common and I feel like our energies are similar and we would be friends if I was closer to them, like actual in-person friends. So we're still gonna be friends now, but you know what I mean? Like, we would be such good friends if Kelsey or Lauren were in person. So those are the two that I was the most excited about. But then Hannah Louise Poston was gonna be there, and I was like, oh my god, 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 I have to meet Hannah, right? Because I love Hannah, and I've watched Hannah from the start of her channel. So I'm going into the Unearthly palette, and I'm grabbing the matte purple, that lighter purple, that violet. I have been so in love with Hannah since the start of her channel that I was just like, I need to meet her. I need to meet her. And then we had Khaki Reviews Beauty, who I was introduced to through Hannah, and I recently started watching her. And I was just so excited to meet her as well. And guess who else was there? Jen Loves. I know. So Jen from Jen Loves was there. And remember when she was Jen Loves Reviews? Girl, when we choose our names, it's like we don't know what's gonna happen in the future and then we have to rebrand. But Jen was gonna be there. I was excited to meet Jen as well. Another person that I've known virtually for years, right? Not virtually for years, but like actually virtually. Like for years. I'm going in now with this dark burgundy one. So I've known Jen for years. We've communicated and all that stuff. Do you see my concealer is creasing? Let me blend that out because that will affect how the eyeshadow applies. So I've known Jen again online for years, so I was really excited to meet Jen. We have Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun. If you follow her Instagram, which you should, I'll link everybody down below, okay? If you follow Amanda, then you know the aesthetic, the layout, the pictures. I aspire, okay? So she was gonna be there as well. I've followed her for years too. So it's like Amy Loves Makeup, who ended up being the youngest one there. I didn't know she was that young. She doesn't come off as that young, and maybe because she's just been creating content for as long as she has, it doesn't feel like she's that young. I'm going in with the dark purple now. This one. So Amy was there, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. Kelly Gooch. Kelly, I've watched again for years, so I was so excited to meet Kelly. And then there were a few creators that I wasn't familiar with, but I got to meet, like Glitter Fallout Linda. Linda is hilarious. I love Linda so much. We have Shelly. Shelly is focused mainly on Amazon, so she creates content for Amazon. And she was like talking shop with us. So the trip was bonding, right? But you could also talk shop. Things that you would talk to coworkers about, now you get to talk to coworkers because we're in the same space. We're pretty much coworkers, so we're having the conversations like the best equipment, the best lighting, the best lenses, and Shelly knows her shit. So Shelly knows all the things. She even has like a company that helps with content creation, like creating short form content from existing long form content. So like my content that I create hour-long videos. So she has a company that will actually create short form from your existing content and make it make sense, right? So Shelly is on it. Then we had Stephanie. Stephanie was on our floor as well. Loving Stephanie. Heather Austin was there. The thing about all these people in person is that they are breathtaking. But you finally get to see like the full face person. Like you get to hug them and talk to them and hear their voices and like interact and like see them outside of the camera, like outside of your screen. And I loved it. So who was I saying? Oh my god. So Heather, poor thing, her flight was canceled, right? So I got in later in the day on Monday. So we all arrived on Monday. That was the initial day. I don't know what to go in with next. I feel like I should do something purple on the eyes, but I want to do like an inner tear duct thing. What should I do? I feel like I should do white? Because we have a white in the Stone and Rock palette. Let me do the white. The white is really intense. These mattes in these palettes are so good. They're so great. And the shimmers too. So the shimmers are like multi-chromes. They are like those pressed eyeshadow pigments that you kind of have to use your finger to get full intensity. You can use a brush too. But if you want pow-pow, then use your finger. So Heather's flight ended up getting canceled. She was supposed to arrive earlier. And her flight was not supposed to arrive until like 10 p.m. And we were all sad because everybody showed up. Some people got there earlier. So around lunchtime, you couldn't get into the actual house until 3 p.m. though. You know how those are. Check in at a certain time, check out at a certain time. So they went to lunch. They went walking around the area. So quite a few of them were already there when I got there. So I ended up traveling to the house with Kelly. I never met her before. I wasn't familiar with her, but I'm happy I met her. So Kelly is from K Bella Beauty, and she's been doing this for a while too. Gorgeous girl, really sweet. So she is a teacher, 3rd grade teacher, and we were just vibing and having a good kiki while we waited on our transportation, right? So we took an Uber to the house. It wasn't too bad. The house was not too far. Ooh, I'm going into the Unearthly palette. So the Unearthly palette has like a bunch of beautiful dual chromes and multi-chromes. So I'm going into Luminescence, which looks like it would be a purple, but it's applying like a little bit of a gold with a little bit of pink to it. That is stunning. So I hung out, right, so I met up with Kelly. We traveled together. We got to the house and like it was instant. Like I'm so in love. First of all, Simbri, like Simbri's Instagram does not do her justice. Simbri is so beautiful, and her eyes, she has these intense, sultry eyes, and I was just like, how are you so pretty? Like, how are you so pretty? I don't understand. Like, I cannot fathom the beauty that is happening here. I love it. All right, let me grab Jellyfish from the Unearthly palette as well. And so Simbri meets me, and she brings my suitcase up the stairs. First of all, it's like, how many flights was it? 3 flights? So my room was on the 3rd floor, and Simbri brought my suitcase up, and I'm like, Simbri, the suitcase is heavy, okay? I don't know how and why my suitcase tends to be so heavy. Like no one else. Exhilaration from the Oden's Eye Jewels and Gems palette. Let's try this with a brush. Okay, it picks up nicely with a brush. So the Unearthly palette, those pick up nicely with a brush. And now we just learned that the Oden's Eye ones do too. All right, so what was I saying? Right, so Simbri brings my suitcase up. I'm just like flabbergasted because my suitcase is always heavy. And I go into like the main hallway because we had different suites, right? So it's like suite A, B, and C, and D, right? A was the largest one, had the most people in there, had the biggest meeting space. So that's where we ended up doing like the after hours events, just hanging out. So I go up, I see like it's instant screaming, like I can't believe it. I hugged everyone. I was so excited to be there. Like it was so much fun. And like I got to finally meet my peoples. Okay, I met my peoples. It was great. But now it's like after 5, we have dinner reservations at 7:30. So now we get ready. And I thought it was gonna be chaotic because we're sharing bathrooms, we're sharing a space. Everybody's gonna be doing makeup because everybody is like a beauty content creator. So you're expecting like crazy chaos, right? It was not. It was not chaotic, at least not where I was, okay? Me and Lauren, I was like, Lauren got the bathroom. I brought my Glamcore mirror, so I had my own little setup doing my makeup. So I took a shower because I just traveled, so I took a shower. We did makeup, got ready, headed to dinner. Dinner was at Butcher and the Bee, which was a great little restaurant, right? It was like tapas. We had some great like little dishes. And Heather made it to the dinner, thank God. So she was able to get on an earlier flight and she came in right in the clutch, suitcase and all, to the dinner. And let me tell you about Heather's eyeshadow, okay? She has a new launch. She just revealed it. So it's the Resurgence collection. So there is an eyeshadow palette, okay? So Unearthly is the brand that she's launching this with. It has beetles and it is beautiful. Like they're neon shades. I have not swatched this yet and I need to take like photos and up close shots before I dig in. But like look at this blue and this, ooh. And so far just using this palette right now, I am impressed with the quality. So this is a new brand that I was introduced to that I'm excited about. It is an indie brand as well. So that is truly exciting. And there's also like a highlighter duo. And what she did with this is like she has a lighter shade and a darker shade. So you can kind of mix and create your own special highlighter. So this one is like a pinky bronze and then this one is a white with pink. Again, I'm not gonna dig into these right now because I haven't touched them. So good times. And then there is a lip gloss, which is a shimmery, like pearlescent white. So excited for Heather, congrats. So Heather comes in, first of all, Heather and, oh, Angie, Angelica Niquis. I can't pronounce it the correct way, but you know who I'm mentioning. Angelica was there, okay? I knew if Angie is there, we're gonna do color, we're gonna do bold. But I didn't know that Heather was Miss Color too. Her eyeshadow, I'm sorry, like I don't understand. Her eyeshadow, one of these is too high, like this one is way up here and then this one is kind of, so I gotta, oh no. So Heather's eyeshadow was always like phenomenal. And I was just so, like, every time I saw her, I would just stare at her eyeshadow. It was ridiculous. I was so intrigued. But yeah, we had like a good chat. Like, we were just chatting at dinner. And it was so good to just be around like-minded people. They share your interests. They share the things that you love talking about. And you guys can just vibe out. And it's not just makeup, like you're having conversations with real people in the real time. Like I have not met up with girlfriends in so long. So it was really great for me. So let's do a little bit of Blur eyeshadow from Melt Cosmetics. Melt is coming out with a new eyeshadow palette that is kind of a relaunch of their Dark Matters stack when Melt Cosmetics used to do stacks. So I thought they already did that palette. Ooh, let me zoom back out, child. I thought they already did that palette, but maybe they're like relaunching it. I don't know, redoing it, whatever, but they're doing that. That's happening. So we had dinner, chatting it up. It's the first night. We go back to the house and we're in the Suite A big meeting area, right? And we went ahead and played White Elephant. White Elephant, oh my god. So Simbri came up with the rules, and Angie was saying that the rules are kind of similar to how they are in Sweden, where you go around in a circle. Let's use our KVD primer. So you go around in a circle, right? You have a pair of dice. So you roll the die, and if you get a 7, 8, or 9, you get to choose a gift from the pile of gifts. So that was one of the things. We were told to bring a gift, you know, no price point, just no rules or restrictions. Just bring a gift that you think would be fun for a White Elephant gifting situation when we get there, right? So this is where now we get to enjoy each other, hang out together as a large group. Because even at dinner, you're like separated by tables. You're not going to get to talk to everybody. But this way, you get to see personalities and how people are. So we play White Elephant. You throw a 7, an 8, or a 9, and you get to take a gift from the center, right? And then once all the gifts are off the table, you go around, you know, clockwise. Once all the gifts are off the table, now you open them up so everybody knows what's in the gifts, right? And then we get the lightning round. So the lightning round is where you roll the die again, 7, 8, or 9, and now you can steal a gift. But now you know what the gifts are, so now you can steal a gift. Girl, I could not roll a 7, 8, or 9 to save my life. I was so upset. I was so angry. Like, I think I rolled maybe twice. And the twice that I rolled was in the lightning round. Like, it was never during the initial. So I was like, why y'all don't want me to have a gift? Like, what is 1-1? Get me a gift. So I never ended up with a gift. And I was very disturbed. You know what? Let me use, I haven't used this in a while. Let's use my Chanel. You know, this is the Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Flawless Foundation. So you go around now and you're timed right now. So it's a time limit. You have to roll really fast, get it going. So here we go. We collect the gifts. There were like people battling over specific items. So I brought the karaoke mic. So I figured that would be good as an icebreaker because we could do karaoke. I've never done karaoke, by the way. Never done karaoke, but I figured that would be a good gift, right? So we had a pair of karaoke mics. That was mine. But there was also another karaoke mic that was brought in. So we had karaoke mics and people were fighting over my gift, which made me feel really good because I was like, okay, I made a good choice. So they were fighting over the karaoke mics. There was a book that was going around. I think, was it Hannah that brought the book? I think it was Hannah that brought the book. But people were fighting over the book. There was a charger that I was fighting for. So this charger, Shelly brought the charger. Of course Shelly's gonna have the tech, right? So it's a charger, like a portable power bank, right? So you can charge all your devices, your phone, your iPad, blah, 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 blah. So it's a heavy duty power bank and it also doubles as a flashlight. I was like, that is practical, that's me, give it to me, please. All the other gifts, I could care less. There was a waist scrub that was going around. Lauren brought that. It was like a whole situation for the waist scrub. There was a candle. There was a Starbucks cup. Oh my god, people went crazy over the Starbucks cup because it was really cute. It was like an emerald green. Oh, it was studded. It was cute, right? So that was so much fun. It was so much fun. Everybody got involved. No one was stuck up. Like, listen, it was such a good trip. And I think what made it such a good trip is that everybody knows each other, or is familiar with each other, or they're like 1 degree removed. So I may know Lauren and Lauren knows Kelly. You know what I mean? So it worked out that way, and I think that made the dynamic a whole lot better. People felt comfortable, like we didn't think people were being shady or underhanded. there was no like numbers being tossed around. Like it wasn't based on subscriber numbers. It was just based on, oh my god, what the fudge. This is the Maybelline up to 30 hour concealer. Why? The Super Stay Activewear Concealer. Is that alcohol? Girl! It is stinging under my eyes. There is a burning sensation. What the hell is that? No, sir. Baby, why would you put alcohol in a concealer though? It's gonna go under my eyes. It's going to irritate and burn. Why would you do that, first of all? But like everybody pretty much was able to relax and just enjoy and be comfortable because we felt like the group was mature. We could talk about personal life and like things on the channel, things behind the scenes, upcoming projects, like things we're thinking of creating, content, all this stuff. Like we could talk shop without anybody being nervous that it's gonna get out, like somebody's gonna talk about it, because it was confidential. We're here to bond, right? Relationships, breakups, divorce, like babies, like everybody was talking this talk, and I loved it so much. We hung out for like hours at night. People went to bed. I was up forever because it was Kelsey, Jen, who else? I think Lauren was there, but like quite a few of us hung out after. I'm going in with the Shiseido powder. Let's do it. I'm not even gonna worry. I'm gonna go in with the lighter one, which is the 340 Oak. Put that under the eyes just in case it's too light. So we were just hanging out, like chilling, like vibing, and we went to bed, I think like 3 o'clock, like maybe two. Yeah, that's definitely too light, but it can work under the eyes or if I wanted to brighten or lift. And Lauren and I stayed up in bed chatting it up for hours. I think we went to bed like 3 or 4. Like we were just talking because like I said, Lauren is somebody that I wanted to meet. So I was hanging out with Jen and Kelsey downstairs, and then when we went back up, it was me and Lauren, right? And then the next day was a brunch. So brunch was sponsored by Unearthly Cosmetics. That's when we got the goodie bag. So we got to play with the goodie bag. They catered lunch at the house. It was like a salad, a few sandwiches, and like biscuits from a very like popular biscuit place in South Carolina. I didn't necessarily love the food, so, you know, I just had a quick bite. There were some fruits, you know, quick bite, nothing crazy. But in the refrigerator, it was stocked with like probiotic drinks and seltzer water. Not seltzer water, but like sparkling Pellegrino. And I am not that bougie. Oh my God, I'm not that bougie. I need Coke and regular water. So Kelsey and I decided we were gonna go, well, I was gonna go regardless. I was gonna go to like a store and get some soda and some water, right, for the house. So Kelsey was like, oh, I'll go with you. So we went. We were chatting it up on the walk. It was really good to like bond with Kelsey because like I said, I've known her for so long. Bronzer. What are we doing for bronzer? You know what I haven't used in a while? My Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. So Kelsey and I hung out, right, on that walk. And then we also went for lunch because we were hungry. So we ended up going to, where did we go? We went to this taco, well, it wasn't like a, well, it was. It kind of was a Mexican-inspired restaurant that was across the street, thankfully. So we didn't have to walk far. So we went to grab some lunch and just chat. So we had a great time, like just talking about life and everything, and her channel, which you should go and subscribe to her new channel. We were talking about that and being discouraged with numbers and like how YouTube is treating Black content creators, right? People of color, like we don't get the same recognition, and like it's known, let's be real, okay? While as viewers we watch white content creators, white viewers don't necessarily watch Black creators because they're like, oh, we're not the same complexion, so, you know, I won't get anything from it. And it's like, but that's not true though. You can still learn about products, textures, and, you know, just have fun and vibe with people. We're not just doing reviews, we're trying out products, and you can still learn from us. So we were talking about that, and like she was feeling down. So I'm like, girl, YouTube is probably not gonna pop off for us. And that's fine. You know, we've established that. It's the name of the game at this point. And we can't beat ourselves up about it because it's not our fault, you know? So we just gotta realize that it will never be for us. But we can enjoy it. And that's exactly what she's doing. So please go and subscribe to Kelsey. Show her some love. Show her some support. She needs to build her channel back up because she's starting over. But I'm excited to see her upcoming content. And this girl is going to tell me how many videos she has like stockpiled just waiting to be edited. And I'm like, if you don't get to editing and posting, just post. And I was saying to her, hey, maybe like involve more of your personality, because Kelsey is like, y'all don't understand. You don't get to really see that side of her. Like, it comes off differently when you're on camera. It's weird. Personalities are hard to kind of demonstrate because you're talking to a camera by yourself in a room. Like, what I look like being animated. I am animated, but that's just me though, because I get worked up. But not everybody's gonna be like, you know, that energetic personality on camera. And Kelsey comes from a place of professional makeup artistry, right? She was a MAC makeup artist. She did the thing, right? So she was a working makeup artist for years. I think she still is right now. But the point is, she comes off a little bit more educational. And I'm like, get your personality involved, because if you guys met Kelsey in person, you would fall in love. She's so bubbly. She was the highlight of the trip, and everybody says that Kelsey, the personality, was it. Kelsey's personality is really great. I'm using this Gucci mascara. Don't mind me. I'm just putting on some mascara because I think I'm gonna use lashes. I need to use lashes with such a bold look. So Kelsey and I had a great time at lunch. We came back and we got ready for a Colourpop masterclass at the house. So they did this again in the large suite area, and it was set up so well. So Simbri and I think Lauren and of course Hannah with the aesthetic, okay? They did the setup, and Simbri was so proud of the Colourpop setup because I think she did the majority of it herself. She was like, I did this. So we had mirrors from Colourpop, right? Which I can now use as a travel mirror for makeup. And we had like little kits that were pre-selected by us. So Colourpop had sent out a survey, which is why I'm telling you, everything was so organized and well done. So they had sent out a survey where we could select like our shade matches and products. And they created these little goodie bags for us. And we had the Colourpop masterclass where someone who was local to the area as a makeup artist, she came in and she did like a demonstration of full face. And then everybody got to follow along and learn tips and tricks, but also just play in makeup with each other and give each other tips and tricks too. So there were recommendations for products. I was recommending like nail glue. Amy from Amy Loves Makeup, she was like, girl, what was that glue you was telling me about? Because she messaged me. I was like, girl, listen, it is the Kiss glue. Get it? It keeps the nails on, because my nails were on for the whole week. Not one popped off, okay? So, like, you know, just bonding and having fun with makeup, playing in makeup and just talking about stuff, talking about life. And it was so great. It was so great. Then after the Colourpop class, we had like a gap of time. I think, is that when me and Kelsey went to lunch? That may have been when we went to lunch. Okay, so we went to Walgreens, then we went to do the class, and then we went to lunch. Either way, we hung out, had a good time, came back, and then it was time now for dinner. So dinner was sponsored by BK Beauty, and we went to Church and Union. I think that's the name of it, but it's a converted church, right? It's now a restaurant, and we went and had dinner there. The owner of BK Beauty and two of like the influencer relations people were there with her. They came in late, but we were able to grab dinner with them, which was great. They were there just there for the night. They were in and out, right? But they came, and I thought that was nice to meet the owner of BK Beauty, because Lisa, first of all, petite petite little thing. She's so pretty. She's so cute. Oh my God, but she is so sweet. A sweetheart. Oh my God, it was so great to meet like really great professional women doing the damn thing that can still be sweet and nice. And Lisa is amazing. And the two girls that were with her, I sat with them. They were so amazing as well. I just loved it. And they seem really happy too with their job because they're like, we really love what we're doing. And I'm like, I love that for you. And they brought us the new lipsticks that they're launching. So they have new shades of their lipsticks. They don't have an official launch date. They just gotten the shipment on Friday. So we were lucky enough to be able to try them out. So I was really excited about that. But they brought like goodie bags with the lipsticks. So we had the lipsticks from them. And that dinner was delicious. It was a fantastic dinner. It was a fun little atmosphere. The restaurant was really cool. And there was a whole thunderstorm carrying on. So this is a converted church, right? So we had like stained glass windows. And you could see the lightning strikes through the stained glass. It was kind of eerie, but it was kind of like fitting at the same time. So that was great. And then we went back to the house and Kelsey was really good with this. She was the one that was like motivating us to do content, right? Because none of us had ideas. We weren't sure what to do, but Kelsey came up with great ideas for like group content. So I'll pop them in, but they were so fun. We had one where it was like the teen romance movie where, oh, the nerd takes off her glasses and all of a sudden she's a bombshell. And we all walked down the stairs and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And Kelsey did such a great job on that. It was great. You know, again, go support Kelsey. She's out here, okay? And then we also did one where we spoke about our favorite products, like the one travel item that we cannot do without. So BK Beauty was there for that. And that was funny too because Lisa, when we got to Lisa, because everybody like brought their product down and was sharing it. Because we changed out of our, you know, our dinner attire. We were in like the BK Beauty sweatshirts. We got sweatshirts, we got a cup, we got the whole thing, right? We got merch. So we put on our sweatshirts. We were down there and we were sharing the items. And that was another fun thing for us. We were just laughing and having a good time. And then we did karaoke. So the karaoke mics came into play. We did karaoke. It was a whole situation, girl. It was a whole situation. I did karaoke for the first time. Lost my voice. I was out of breath. I was like, how do people sing for this long? I'm tired. I don't know what to do. But it was my first time. Y'all go hear me croak on this karaoke. I did Irreplaceable by Beyonce because it's the only song I would probably know like most of the words, like most of the lines. So we did that, but it was a good time. And then Shelly taught us a little line dance. So we were down there doing a line dance, doing the wobble. Like, don't play with us. Don't play with us. We're like, wobble, baby, wobble. Hey! You know, get in there. Yeah. So we had a good time that night as well. It was really, really great. And then the next day was going to be a beach day. So we went to the beach. And let me tell you right now. Y'all... What y'all call beaches? I don't understand. I do not compute what is this? The water was brown, the sand looked like dirt, and I was not interested. Like, I was not interested in this. Y'all know I'm Jamaican, so I'm a tropical girl, born and bred, like born and grew in Jamaica. So beaches to me are blue. Sand is white or close to white, okay? Very sandy, very beachy, very tropical. Blue waters, like crystal blue waters. Like, so when I see brown, I just hear no. Okay, so I was not going to the beach. But BK Beauty had rented like the chairs, the umbrellas, like the whole layout. So a few people went to the beach, hung out, took pictures, like went in the water. I was not going to. No, not me. Not me. So Jen, Kelsey, and I were hungry, right? Because we had not gotten up early. So most of the girls got up early and got like breakfast and coffee. Girl, I was asleep. I was like, I need to sleep because I'm not going to bed until like 4 a.m. Lauren was setting an alarm. She was just going. She got up super early, went for like walks and coffee and breakfast with people. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I just slept in. And then when I got up, of course, we're getting ready to go to the beach. I'm hungry. Kelsey's hungry. We're like, we're going to eat. So Jen, Kelsey, and I went for lunch because Jen was like, no, I'm hanging with you guys. And we're like, come, Jen, let's hang out. We had such a great time just talking about life, you know, and existing. And Jen was so sweet. Let me tell you something about Jen. Jen is a sweetheart, and she mentioned this in I think it was her live. So she does like a live chat every Sunday or so. If she's not gonna do it, she lets people know, but they're on her channel. You can check her out. But I was on the live this Sunday. I usually join her lives because they're on Sunday. I can just hang out and like prepare food and stuff. So I was on the live, right? And Jen was saying how like I was teasing her, and it's true. Like, that's my love language. I will tease you and I will give you a hard time. That's how you know I truly care about you. I tease you. I know that's toxic as hell, but that's how I do it, right? So she was saying that I was teasing her, and then there were some hard truths because we were having like real deep conversations, and we were talking about, okay, so Charleston, Carolina is a little questionable, okay, when it comes to the history of slavery in this country and like civil rights and everything, right? Okay? It is what it is. The place was chosen because of proximity and like it just fit. So most people wanted to go there, right? But comments were made online about why did they choose Charleston, South Carolina? Like, what about the history? And it's like, where in this country can you go, for real though, that doesn't have like a sordid history, you know? And I don't think that was even a thought. And it's maybe something that we can think of in the future for future locations. So that wasn't even like a real thought. But like we were having these conversations because you're in this place, right? Where you feel uncomfortable as a black person. And let's be real, Kelsey and I were the ones that were bringing this up, right? And as a white person existing in this country, you probably don't see these nuanced things, but we do, right? So Jen was really open and receptive. She's always been a champion. So I love that, okay? And Jen is a very warm and open person. She likes to see the best in everybody. But I was saying to her, sometimes you need to let it go, mama. You need to just let it go. Some of these people are not worth your energy because they're negative people, right? And you can't save everybody. You can't save them. You can't say, here's the good in this person like all the time. No, at some point that's gonna drain you and it's gonna look bad on you. So I was having like conversations with her about certain things, you know, that happened. And like she spoke about, and I don't want to get too into it, but like we spoke about things that have happened on YouTube over the years and like situations that people have found themselves in, and like just talking about it, like talking even about life and just growing up in Jamaica. She was very interested in that, and Jen was like, listen, I'm paying for lunch. So I was like, Jen, you do not have to do that. She's like, please, let me pay for lunch. And that was the other great thing about the group. So like I said, BK Beauty and some of the other brands sponsored like dinners and like some of the events, but we were responsible for Ubers getting to where we were getting, our flights, and then, you know, any other miscellaneous expenses, food, lunch, coffee, all that stuff, right? So Jen was like, I'm paying for lunch, and I'm like, Jen, you're too sweet. So Jen paid for lunch, and then we took Uber back. So Linda, Glitter Fallout, and Shelly were walking around, and we saw them at the restaurant that we were at. I need a lip color. Should we use one of the BK Beauty ones? I want to do a swatch video with them. So I'm not going to, let's use one of the Make Beauty ones. Yeah, let's use a Make Beauty one. So Linda joined us in our Uber. It wasn't big enough for Shelly. I had already ordered the Uber before we saw Shelly. So I was like, oh no. Shelly was like, girl, I'm going somewhere else. So y'all can go ahead, because we were going back to the house. There was like a little marketplace too that we were probably going to go to. So Shelly was like, y'all go ahead, because I'm going to go to this flamingo place where, I don't know, like Flamingo Park, something she was going to for like the shots. So she went, and then we were driving back. So it was me, Kelsey, Jen, and Linda at this point, right? And the Uber driver, so I selected comfort because I want quiet and I want it to be cool. But we were talking, so we were loud. And this driver was like, yeah, you chose quiet. And I'm like, yes, we did. Because we don't want to hear you. I didn't say it like that, but I was like, yeah, we did. You know? And then we were laughing because we were like, we chose quiet, but we're the ones like laughing and making a whole to-do in this car. So we were laughing, right? And we said to him, you know, I use the shade Atmospheric, that's the lighter shade, and then Catalyst as the outline. That is a good combination. So we said to him, yeah, I know we told you that we wanted, you know, quiet and whatever, but since we're loud and you know, you're already involved, are there any recommendations for things that we can do if we decide to revisit, right? Like, come back here. Girl, he said, oh, you guys should visit the plantations. So, first of all, I looked at Jen looked at me, because Jen was like, how is Tina gonna react? Because Audra from Audra at Home told her that in this case, you're gonna be around all these content creators. Whatever Tina does, you do. If Tina doesn't like it, you don't like it. Whatever the vibe is, Tina, okay? And I was dying because Audra had also messaged me and was like, listen, be careful out there if shit go down. So I was like, I cannot. But it's like this unspoken thing. It's Charleston, South Carolina. We're the black influencers. So, you know, it is a situation, right? This man, I gonna talk about go to the plantation them. Kelsey's in the front seat like, do he see me? Do you see me? And I'm like, he don't see us though, cause hello? This man he kept going too. He was like, yeah, they're so beautiful. And I'm like, me, I got to go myself go plantation, sir, come on now. Come on. Of all the places I want to go is not a plantation. It's not. It is not a plantation. And that's the thing too. On Reddit, people thought like, what about the plantations? Are they going to end up at a plantation? And I'm like, can you fucking imagine if we ended up at a plantation? We did not go to a plantation. Plantation was not in the cards, okay? And this man going to talk about, oh, you should do like the tours and find out about the history of the place. And I'm like, we are the history. Like, I don't want to be any parts of this, okay, sir? So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I did not tip him. I did not tip him. But yeah, like, everybody just pitched in for Uber. So whoever was just, you take the Uber, we're going to dinner. Everybody gets in the car, somebody pays for the Uber. Like, there was no, like, back and forth, and I love that because I can't be bothered, okay? Oh, cash at me $5. Like, what? What are we doing here? So we went to the strip with the market. So we were shopping around, buying different things. We picked up a few items, and we just had a good time, like, hanging out together and stuff. We went back to the house, and then that was the farewell dinner. So we went to a restaurant that was close by, so we walked, and it was beautiful. Everybody was dressed up. Everybody was just having a good time. The food there was probably my favorite. That was probably the best food. It was delicious. I loved it. And this eyeshadow, I also loved it. And the lips. Oh my God. I love everything. I love it. I love my face right now. So we had like a good dinner. It was a good time. Again, we had like those bonding experiences. And let me tell you something about Amy. Amy loves makeup. She is a fucking bombshell. Oh my God. And Kelsey and I were just like, girl, you don't understand how beautiful you are. First of all, she had a green dress on the first dinner night. No, the second dinner night. With the red hair and the pale skin. I was beautiful. Oh my God. The second night, this last night, well, it wasn't the second, the last night, right? she had this red on looking like Jessica Rabbit with red lipstick and the hair. I was like, girl, do you know how stunning you are right now? You are gorgeous. And then the body, and then she's tall, and it's just like, god damn, she a baddie. What? So we were just gassing each other up. And that's the other thing, like, these female personalities coming together, there was no clashing. There was no bitterness. There was no like cattiness. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was vibing. Everybody ended up in like a clique, you know, of people that you vibed with the best. And that's okay. Of course, you don't want it to just be cliquey all the way, which is what happens on a lot of influencer trips. You end up in cliques of people you know and you stay there. With this, everybody was moving around and talking to each other. Like everybody met each other, spoke to each other. But then you had certain groups that ended up hanging out. And it would get mixed up like on each day. So you weren't just with the same person every day. I was at Kelsey the majority of the time. But we still like mixed in, right? So Jen joined us, Heather joined us. Like it was just a mixed bag and I loved it. I love this trip so much. Oh my God. And there is a potential for more in the future because Simbri and Samantha love organizing. Like Simbri, kudos to Simbri. Simbri did the damn thing without Samantha there. So Samantha wasn't able to attend because she has like some personal issues she's dealing with. So that came up. It was like urgent. It was an emergency. So she dropped out of the trip. But like her and Simbri planned this whole thing this whole time. They were, again, communicating with us. We knew every step of the way what was happening. And Simbri handled that like a boss. And she says she loves doing that. So she's a manager, you know, and she loves doing this on the side. She said if this could be her full-time job, she would do it. But it doesn't pay enough, right? And she did such an excellent job with Samantha. And without Samantha there, she still like held the fort down. It was amazing. And I think that's what I enjoyed the most. Like everybody came together and made sure everything flowed smoothly. But then we had the one go-to person that knew what was happening and kept us on track, like on schedule. Dinner's at 7. You have to leave at 7:15. Let's go. Like she was on it and it wasn't overbearing at all. Like I don't know how she accomplished that. And everybody was just ready on time. And like, I love that, okay? Because I'm usually late. But everybody was on time. Like it moved so seamlessly. I loved it. Everything was scheduled the way it was supposed to be scheduled. Like everything flowed. We weren't overwhelmed with events or things to do. Like we could do our own thing and like bond with each other without this obligation of you have to go to this event, this event, this event. Like it wasn't back to back. I think the pacing of the whole trip just worked really well. I think the days that we spent there were really great as well. The last day was our travel day. So everybody like packed up. We had to check out by 12 o'clock. We had to be out the house, right? My flight wasn't on till 5, so we were going to lunch and hanging out before we went to the airport, right? So we had such a blast. It was such a good time. I loved it so much. I can't wait. If there's another event and I'm invited, I'm going. I'm going. And this time around, I'll vlog. I'll vlog better because I didn't really vlog. And that was my fault. Hold on, I have a necklace. I just thought about the necklace that was included with the Oden's eye collection. So in addition to the 2 palettes, there's jewelry. I'm wearing one of the earrings right now. Yeah, and there's a matching necklace. These are not things I would typically wear, to be honest. But since they were provided to me, I think they're cute. I think they're actually cute. I may give a couple to my niece because she doesn't have a ton of jewelry and she's into these kinds of things. This is cute. This I'm keeping. I think this is cute. Even though it's not something I would choose for myself, I think it works out. So like the trip was just really well done. And I think a lot of brands can learn from this, right? So the creators weren't chosen based on numbers and who can get the most views and who's gonna get the most return on investment. It was simply creators bonding and coming together, and brands after the fact coming and getting involved and sponsoring some of the events. And BK Beauty, thank you again. Lisa is a joy, and they're talking about actually doing something with BK Beauty in the future, and I'm like, I would like to attend. Thank you so much. But yeah, they're gonna be upcoming events. I know there's a live that's scheduled for today. I don't think my video will make it up today, but as in Thursday. So that's when the live is gonna happen. I will be there talking about like future, you know, plans and just the experience and how much fun it was. and why I think this is like the future of influencer trips, right? Because there were no hiccups, no headaches at all. And I love that. Everybody got along. Even if you didn't become best friends with people, now you know these people and you like their personalities. Like, everybody was great. There was no one there that I didn't like. So it's just like, when does that happen? When does it happen? So kudos to Samantha and Simbri. Thank you again for including me. And if I'm included in upcoming trips, I'm gonna be there because I loved it so much. I loved it so much. And I can't wait to like be a part of this community a little bit more than I have been. Wait, my nipples are, let me come down. My nipples are out. But yeah, it was such a great event and I'm so excited to have been included. And of course, they're going to expand it, go to different places, invite different creators. But again, creators that fit and make sense. And one comment, I did want to say this. I did want to say this before I wrap up. There was one comment. So Kelsey, remember she did the videos with all of us coming down the stairs and like, so it was all of us. And there was a comment there that said, oh, I guess all the beauty boys were busy. And I'm like, why you gotta do that? Even the Reddit post about the trip in the start, like, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta rain on people's parades? Like, people can't just have fun. Like, people can't just enjoy themselves without people picking everything apart. Like, oh my God. So beauty boys weren't excluded for any other reason other than this was a girls trip. It was a girls trip and we're allowed to have girls trips. Like, it was planned as a girls trip. Like, it wasn't that we weren't gonna invite beauty boys. In fact, I think Kaki has a friend that she will probably invite on the next trip because she loves them. Hot Mess Tom loves them. So they may come, but I think it was even better that it was all girls, you know, because we were all sharing bedrooms. We were all sharing bathrooms. And we were talking about like a lot of personal things that I don't know that I would have been comfortable talking about around guys. You know what I mean? And gay or not, you're still cisgendered male. It's not the same vibe, you know? And it wasn't that kind of trip. It was a girls trip for girls to just have fun and be girly and talk about girly things. And that's okay for us to have. It wasn't being exclusionary. We weren't just keeping people out like it was. There's no gatekeeping, okay? It was just a girls trip that was planned for us. But I wanted to mention that because it kind of irked me. Like, we can't have nothing. We can't just, you know? But hopefully you guys enjoyed chatting with me, seeing some snippets of the trip. It was a really good time. I loved it, loved it, loved it. And I thank you guys for all the support because you guys like supported the trip too. Like, you guys were excited for us and I love that. I love this community and I hope to do more in the future. So I will go ahead and list as many of the products that I can mention down below in the description box along with links on where you can pick them up. If there's an asterisk next to any of those links, that indicates that it is an affiliate link, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through those links. It doesn't change the sale price, it just gives me a little bit of a kickback for you using my link. It's a great way to show you support for the channel. If you're already shopping, it doesn't cost you anything extra. And I also have super thanks, so you can leave me a super thanks or you can join channel memberships, which I have a couple of members. So shout out to you guys. I will shout you guys out in another video because I have to pull up the names, but thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. But that I consider like a tip jar, right? If you wanted to just put something towards the content and the channel for, you know, buy me a coffee or something, whatever it is, right? But thank you guys so much. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter where we have some fun. Again, there will be a live. I don't know. I'm going to try to have this video up, but we will see. But until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.